Hello, Bookworm73. Let me know if you guys can hear me pretty well. We're going to wait about 5 minutes until more people start to join, so bear with me for the meantime. Hello, Rick. Hello, Honey Badger. Let me know if you guys can hear me well or if the audio isn't that great. Okay, thank you, Rick. Hello, Wyoming Yeti. Good to see you guys. Glad you guys could make it. Whoops. Just bumped into the camera. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, let me know if there's any kind of distortion or anything that might be a little off. Today we are doing pan pizza or skillet pizza. And we're going to be using the new Smithey number 14 skillet. Hopefully everybody's having a lovely weekend. Or weekend, I'm sorry. A lovely week. Hello, RT Scott. Good to see you guys. Hello, Deb Scott. Honey Badger, Bookworm, Rick, Wyoming Yeti. And as I mentioned, we're waiting for more. I think, you know what, guys? I think we're going to start because it is already 6 o'clock. And, well, it's already, what, 6:02? So I feel like we should just get started. So I'm going to make my own sauce. I don't have any sauce, so I have to make my own sauce. And I'll be using the Cento all-purpose crushed tomatoes. This isn't sponsored or anything of that nature. Just something, a brand that I like using. So we'll be using this. It is the 28-ounce Cento all-purpose crushed tomatoes. We're going to be using this as our tomato sauce base. And we're going to be adding more ingredients as we go. Alright guys, so the other thing that I did want to mention is I usually don't give recipes and I'm pretty bad at that, so you know, I'm always posting things of the food that I cook, and there's always no recipe to those, or once in a blue moon there is a recipe. But for this one, let me just give you the recipe for the pizza dough, and I like using this one because I've used it several times for single use. So if you guys are doing this just for yourselves, this is a great recipe. I do like, this one is from John Cannell, which is on YouTube, and I like, this is mostly like a single pizza recipe, but I also like the recipe from Joshua Wiseman, which is also on YouTube, and I like his because you can get about 6 pizzas out of that one, out of that recipe. But I use that one when I'm at, you know, at my family's. But as I mentioned, when I'm cooking for here, this is technically just for my house, for us, and for the kiddos. So we're just doing one. So the pizza dough recipe is here, and I'm just gonna read it off for you guys. If you guys are interested in this recipe, go to Preppy Kitchen, and you can just type in pizza dough recipe. He is, or his name is John Cannell. Anyway, for the ingredients, guys, for the ingredients, we're gonna need 3/4 cups of water, or 180 milliliters of water. Make sure it's warm, guys, and I like using the water from like filtered water. I usually don't do water from the tap, but anyway, that's just me. Also 2 cups all-purpose flour. So if you guys are gonna weigh it out, which I do recommend, 240 grams of all-purpose, or you could do bread flour. The bread flour is going to give you more chew. So for those of you that might be interested, yes, bread flour does have a different texture to it. Also, we're going to need 1 packet of yeast, or 7 grams of yeast. One, what is that? 1 tablespoon of granulated sugar. We also need 3/4 cup of, or I'm sorry, 3/4 teaspoon, not cup, 3/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1 tablespoon of olive oil. And for the instructions, we're just gonna mix it. We're gonna mix the water, and that's what I did actually. You guys can see it here. What I did, so to make the dough, and it is rising. Hopefully you guys can see that it is rising, and I used the mixer, to be honest. I didn't want to mix it by hand, so I used the mixer, and so far it's been rising for about an hour. Yeah, it's about an hour, so it's almost there. But here his instructions say, in a warm mixing bowl, add water. So the amount of water, the 3/4 cups of water, and we're gonna add. Actually, you should temp the water, which should be at least 100 degrees Fahrenheit. We'll add the yeast and half of the sugar. So half of the sugar would be, so if it's 1 tablespoon of granulated sugar, you need a half tablespoon of granulated sugar. Thankfully, mine actually has that measurement. I'm not sure if your guys has it, but yeah. Anyway, so we're gonna add that, and we're gonna just stir it and let it foam up for about 7 minutes. Once we start seeing the bubbles, we know that it's actually working and the yeast has been activated. Also, we're gonna mix the flour, so we're gonna add the remaining sugar, which would be the other half tablespoon of sugar, into the bowl along with salt. We're gonna just mix it all together, and then once we do that, we're gonna add the water and the yeast and let it go on the mixer. I did that for about 10 minutes on medium speed. After that, we just cover it and we let it rise for about an hour. So that's the pizza dough. So if you guys are interested, make sure that you guys do check out Preppy Kitchen. That's the one that I use. If you're going to be making multiple batches, I do recommend the recipe from Joshua Weissman. You can probably get about 6 pizza balls or pizza dough balls out of his recipe, which as I mentioned, I like using his recipe for when I do, pizzas at my father's house. But let's get started. So as I mentioned, we're going to use the Cento crushed tomatoes. And what I should have done was actually preheated my skillet here. And for those of you that are curious, that skillet there is a vermicular. It's enameled, very, very lightweight. One of the lightest that I have. It is made out of cast iron, and it is made in Japan. And it's enameled, so the sauce is not going to do any harm to it. And it also comes with a lid, so I don't want to have too much splatter, which I probably will, but hopefully we won't have too much splatter. I'm also going to add a little bit of olive oil to this. So we're going to turn on to medium-low heat. Add a little bit of olive oil, and I forgot to clean out my pan, or in case it was dusty. But well, it is what it is now. So we're adding just a little bit of olive oil to the pan. Don't have to add too much. Don't be like me, that's making a mess already. And as I mentioned, I should have had this heating up as I was going, but for the pizza sauce, I kind of just wing it because I know the taste that I prefer. So I was using the San Marzano style plum tomatoes, and technically the recipes like Joshua Weissman, that's what he uses, the San Marzano tomatoes. This is the lazy way for me. I don't want to bring out my hand blender and then blend everything because they're whole, they're just peeled. So I opted to do crushed tomato, which still to me has good taste. And I actually like that brand a lot. I don't know about you guys, if you guys have tried Cento, but I like that brand. Bookworm73 says, I really need to start cooking, or wait, what does it say? I can't read that very well. Actually, hold on guys, I need to grab my my phone so I can follow along on the conversation. I was hoping that I'd have the sauce. All right, let's see. I was hoping, as I mentioned, I was hoping I'd have the sauce ready, but well, I figured I'd show you guys the process of making the sauce. As I mentioned, very easy, not very difficult to make, and it's better than buying the canned pizza sauce. To be honest, this is going to be a lot better because you get to add whatever you want to it without having any kind of weird preservatives or anything of that nature. So let's see. Val's Black Cat Rules says rapid rise yeast or regular. I use regular. I don't really recommend the rapid rise unless you're making bread. But this standard like a normal yeast is fine. I haven't seen any difference. The only thing that I did notice is that it doesn't rise properly with the rapid rise for some reason. It takes longer. So the rise time would be about 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours versus this, which only takes about 30 to 40 minutes to rise and double in size. But yes, I use regular. Bookworm73 says, I really need to start checking the water temperature. I think it's way too hot, or always too hot, probably. Yeah, I do recommend, and I use a little probe thermometer that I bought from, and again, this isn't sponsored at all, but I do like using the Thermopop. Not sponsored or anything of that nature, just I like this brand a lot. Works great. Just put it in there, you know, and you can actually adjust the you can adjust the screen. So if you want it to be like that or like this or whatever way you like, you can move it back here. It has little buttons, and you can also change it to Celsius, and it also has a little light. So in case it's nighttime and you want a little light, you can't really tell, but yes, this is how I usually temp my food, my water, or anything that needs a quick temperature check. But yes, I do recommend something like that. And you can actually get these thermopops for like 20 bucks, 20 or $30. They're very inexpensive, to be honest. But anyway, I think my oil is starting to smoke. Yes, it is. Now the pan might be too hot. And if you guys hear me sniffling, it's because, well, for some reason I have really bad allergies, or at least I assume they're allergies. And right now, since I live in the Sierras, we have a lot of alpine or pine trees, and man, they are causing mayhem right now. There's so much pollen in the air. My truck is always yellow from all the pollen. I know for a fact I'm gonna make a mess, so let me go to the sink because I don't want it to splatter everywhere. At least in the sink I can clean it up. So that wasn't that bad. That was gonna be worse. So we're gonna stir this up, and I am gonna be using a high heat spatula to kind of just stir it in there. So what I did do is turn down the heat. We don't want it too hot. We're just gonna simmer it for a little bit. We're not gonna simmer this for too long. We're gonna add some ingredients in a minute. Alright, let's see. What we're gonna need some Italian seasoning, which I always have a ton of. We're gonna need garlic powder, onion powder, and I like using a little bit of chicken bouillon, but I think I might have run out of the powdered chicken bouillon, so I think I might not use any chicken bouillon this time, but I do recommend chicken bouillon. It does give it a good flavor. So we're just going to use garlic powder, onion powder, salt, and the Italian seasoning for this. Now, I do recommend if you have any fresh basil, you could add it as well. Fresh basil would give it some good flavor profile. And as I mentioned, this I don't really have a recipe for this. I just kind of by taste. If anything, I would say maybe like two tablespoons of Italian seasoning. And I like this pan. It's very lightweight. The fact that it's enameled. And I haven't really featured it too much on the channel, but this thing is awesome. This one here is also oven safe. I do have another one that has a wooden handle that is not oven safe, but this one has an aluminum handle and it's coated enameled. So I like this one a lot as well. And I use this a lot on like off camera. I use it for many things, for pasta dishes and sauces and things of that nature. And all this is going to be to taste, so I'm just going to be adding what I think is going to be okay, and then we'll adjust once it starts cooking. We'll adjust flavor or seasoning in case it needs more or less. I mean, we can't really do less, but if it needs more, we can do so. So start off with less first and more later, in case it needs any. Let's see what else. Oh, salt. And I'm just going to use the bigger granule salt. And that's about it. I feel like Cowboy Kent Rollins just kind of eyeballing all this, but I've done so many pizza sauces that now it's kind of a thing where it's not as difficult, and for some reason I always feel like I need more salt towards the end anyway, so seasoning wise I think I've gotten better at it. But if you're new to this, just add a little bit first, and then obviously just as it starts cooking, adjust your seasoning by tasting it. As you guys saw in the beginning, didn't add too much oil. You don't need that much. And it's already starting to smell really good. I wish that you guys could smell this. It smells great. That's one thing that I love about pasta sauces, like this, like a marinara sauce. They make your house smell great. At least in my opinion, it smells great. I'll taste in a minute. We're gonna let that simmer for a bit. And once I start seeing bubbles or it bubbling, then we'll give it a taste. Let me get to some of the comments on the chat. Val's Black Cat Rule says, Luis, do you do a sweet sauce? No. I know a lot of people like using sugar. I don't. I like the acidity, and so does my wife. I mean, there are occasions where if the sauce is too bitter or too acidic, then we'll add a little bit of sugar to it to kind of counteract that acidity. But usually, no, I don't add sugar to mine, at least, for this one. There are, as I mentioned, other recipes where I will add a little bit of sugar to it to kind of counteract that acidity. Hello, Mercy B. I would use my big one I have in storage. Yeah. I'm going to be using today, for those of you that just got here, I will be using the Smithey number 14, which is a 14-inch cast iron skillet. I recently did a unboxing video on that one, so we're going to be making the pizza in that one today. And I figured a pizza would be great for that pan, especially since it'll go in the oven. Let's see, what else? Mercy B says, I would cook the pizza in the pan. Yes. And actually what I'm doing right now is I actually have my skillet in the oven because I like a crusty bottom, a nicely cooked bottom. I don't like it when it's soggy, to be honest. I prefer that. So my oven has the burners on the top, So most of it gets nicely, cooked on the top. But usually, and this has happened to me before, when I take the pizza out, usually the bottom is it's not as browned as I would like it to be, or crunchy. So my wife is always like, well, let's cut it up and then we'll throw it on a griddle and let it cook even more to get that crunch. But I'm gonna give it a go this time and see if it works. As I mentioned, I have it in the oven at 350, which is probably a little high. Maybe I should turn it down to 200. By the time the sauce is ready, I think we should be able to take it out and place the pizza into it. Let's see, what else? Honey Badger says that 14 is a very nice looking. Yeah, I think so as well. I think it's a very nice pan or skillet. Let's see. William Hurt says, I just stumbled in. Hey, everybody. Hello, William Hurt. Good to see you. BMF 7831. Good to see you as well. He says, stick potato in there. We'll do less. Not sure exactly what's going on there, but good to see you, BMF. Who else is here? Once again, thank you everybody who has joined joined the live for today. I appreciate everybody showing up. What is going on? Usually these pans are, the sauce is usually bubbling a lot quicker. I don't know what's going on today. And if you guys have noticed any of my videos lately, I've been cooking outside. I haven't really been cooking indoors. One, for the mess. Two, because we're moving. So there's just kind of a jumbled mess inside the house. We're trying to get everything organized and ready to move. I'm hoping that within the week or so, I'll be in the new house or in my new place, and we'll be doing something big during that time. So look forward to that. We'll do a housewarming for all of you that are subscribers and everybody that I considered YouTube friends or friends for that matter. Rick actually, I talked to Rick on social medias. I think Instagram, and I think it's just actually Instagram. And, well, I talked to Rick here on YouTube and Instagram. And, like I said, I consider all of you family. So thank you guys for joining in and being subscribers of the channel. One thing that I wanted to say, and I don't think I've said in a while, or I've ever said for that matter, I never intended my channel to be for cooking. I intended the channel to just be an unboxing channel. And somehow I got into all of this, and I got into cooking, and cooking with cast iron. So then it evolved into that, and I figured, well, I guess it's a cooking channel now. I guess that's what I'm considered, a cooking channel, unboxing / cooking channel. But yes, I never intended the YouTube channel to be necessarily a cooking. I was intending it to be more of a unboxing. Honey Badger says, I heat my pizza pan to 425 and then bake 350 to 375, but everyone's oven is different. Yeah, I have it preheated right now. I had it at 350. And usually, I'll be honest with you guys, this is the first time that I try it in this way. Usually I heat up my pan on the stovetop and then place the pizza dough inside inside the pan while it's on the stovetop, and I get a good crust build up on the pizza dough, and then I place it in the oven. But since this pan is way bigger than what my stove can handle, I didn't want to place it on the stovetop, so I figured, hey, might as well just stick it in the oven. So that's what I'm doing, and once that sauce is cooked, then we'll start preparing the pizza dough. William Hurt says, but you are such a good family cook. Thank you. I appreciate that comment. I appreciate your generosity. I'm I've always been the type of person to strive to be good at what I do. If there's something that I pick up, I do my best to do my best in learning that little thing, whether it's cooking or like bread baking for that matter. I avoided sourdough baking because I was like, nope, that's just too time consuming. That's just going to be a pain, and I don't want to do it. And obviously, when you're on social media and you're looking at recipes and you're looking at food channels or food accounts, and you stumble across these awesome looking breads, and I'm like, I want to do that. I want to see if I can achieve that kind of success in my baking. So then it almost becomes a challenge. So in that aspect, I'm like, okay, well, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it the right way. I'm gonna follow, all the steps that are necessary to do so. I gotta learn baker's math. I gotta learn how to start a sourdough starter, how to keep it alive, and then baking as well. All the techniques that there is to baking the bread. There's just so much into making a loaf of sourdough that, if I was to do something for you guys, showing you guys how to do it, it would not be a one video kind of thing. It would have to be somewhat of a series, because there's so much information out there, and through the trial and errors that I've had, I mean, I could share information that possibly maybe some don't, but there's so many recipes out there, and I learned a lot of things through those other YouTubers and those other social media accounts. So that's where I learned most of my stuff, and obviously trial and error. Actually, let's try the sauce. Ooh, that's good. That's yummy. It tastes to me a little sweet. Don't know why. Did I add sugar? Is that sugar? No, that's okay. No, that's salt. For a minute there, I thought it was going crazy. No, that tastes great. Yeah, no, that tastes great. I mean, not to brag or anything, but that's a really good sauce. And as I mentioned, guys, there's many more things. You can add actual, like onion. You can add actual minced garlic, and I used to do that too. But this is for my kids and my wife, and sometimes I'll go the easier route. Let's just put it that way: the easier route where I'm not full blown making the sauce out of scratch. I'm still using a canned tomato sauce, and I didn't use real. Well, I feel like I'm not using real ingredients by not using real minced onion or minced garlic. I feel like I'm cheating, but this is something that you can do in a weeknight, as I'm doing today. Cynthia Wesley says, "Brag, you know when something tastes good." Yeah. There's occasions where I taste my food and I'm like, oh my god, there's something missing, and I have to get a second opinion, and I'll get my wife to come and taste my food, and she's like, yeah, it needs this, and that, and then she'll kind of help me fix it. And so that's kind of where I also learn how to adjust seasoning levels on food. And honestly, my wife was somewhat of a teacher to me in the beginning. She was, obviously she had to, like, I had no experience cooking whatsoever when I first started back, like, what is it now? 6 years ago? I had no experience. I started back in 2018, and I was doing bare minimum. My chicken was always dry, potatoes were always undercooked, carrots were actually pretty decent. That was my meals. That's when I started doing meal plans. I started cooking healthier foods, and I would do a lot of oatmeals and things of that nature. And I somewhat switched up my diet plan, but my food wasn't great. And then I started getting more knowledge from my wife, and then I took over. Then she stopped cooking, and I'm the one that cooks now. So for me, I have a lot of experience, quickly from all the people around me, because my whole family are, my sisters, my wife, they're all great cooks, and I learned from them. All right, guys, we're gonna let that simmer, and I think the salt levels and everything else is perfect. So I'm glad for that. So we're just gonna let it simmer for, I want to say, about 10 minutes. So remind me, guys, when 10 minutes go by, let me know to check on the sauce. In the meantime, I think we're ready to switch over to the dough so we can roll it out and get that ready. Rick says that brand of tomatoes are sweet. Cento, yeah, I've never had them. You know how there's those tomatoes that almost taste like metal. Uh, yeah, and I don't want to hate on it, and I don't even know if I should say, but Hunt's tomato sauce. I mean, it's great in some dishes where you want that acidity, but Hunt's tomato sauce is too acidic for me and almost tastes metallic. I'm not hating on them, but I'm just saying. I use that Hunt's tomato sauce when I'm making chile rellenos because I want that acidity. BMF 7831, Luis is bringing the heat. Thank you. Shermaid says NBA Finals or cast iron. You're good. I would say NBA Finals. You can always rewatch the this, but I like watching live games as well. I quit watching NBA back in high school, and that was like 20 years ago now. I quit watching it. Well, not 20 years. I'm getting close to 20 years, but 2005 it'll be 20 years. But anyway, I haven't seen a final in a long time, so I do miss it. I just got busy and caught up with a bunch of other things. So anyway, let's see what else. All right, let's switch. Let's move on. I know I've been chattering and talking, so let's switch over to making the or rolling out the pizza dough. So bear with me while I move my camera. Sorry about that, guys. Alrighty. All right, guys, so bear with me. All right. Okay, I'm gonna grab my stuff and get the dough ready. One thing that I do want to say is that I totally forgot I had this little pastry mat, and I got it at IKEA. So if you guys are looking for a pastry mat, check out IKEA. This one's pretty cool. So pastry mat here, and I like it because it tells me also the size, what we're aiming for. I always go a little bit bigger than the actual pan. So if the pan's 14, we're gonna try and go to 15, maybe even 16. So that is pretty large. I don't know if this pizza dough is gonna, roll out that large. But here we are. One pizza dough. That's enough for one pizza dough. So let me grab some flour. Honey Badger says, I'm listening to the Reds game and watching this on TV. Thank you, Honey Badger. I appreciate that very much. Alrighty, let's see. What am I doing? Some flour. Whoops. Wrong flour. Sorry about that, guys. I'm looking for my flour. I forgot I have it in the other pantry. Okay. I'm gonna dust our work surface here. And I forgot to grab a bench scraper, which I do need. And I like using the flexible plasticky kind to just pretty much remove the dough from the bowl. The other thing that I like to do, guys, is actually add a little bit of flour to this plastic scraper to get that dough out. But sorry, I'm gonna move you guys a little bit here. Hopefully you guys can see. All right. I hope I'm not getting sick again because that's kind of what it feels like. So now I'm just worried. My son is actually sick. One of my boys, he's been sick since Saturday of last week, and we already took him to the doctor twice. They still can't figure out what's going on. So I don't know. I feel like this whole year we've been just hit with flu and COVID and everything, you name it. That is a small pizza dough. I was hoping it'd be bigger. You know, and I knew that it was not going to be that large. I think the recipe states it's a 12-inch pizza. So hopefully we can, even if it's a thin crust, hopefully we can get it out to about 14 inches at least. All right. Sorry about these delays, guys. I feel like there's a lot of quiet. It is very quiet right now, actually. My kiddos are upstairs, and my wife is actually not here. And I feel like I'm missing something. Don't know why. Add a little bit more. And I'm no professional at, doing this, but my method is just pretty much using the fingers to spread out the dough in this motion. Don't know exactly how to or what to call it, but it's worked for me, and I like using this. Also, I'll use the knuckles, and once I get it to that circular shape. Another thing too, guys, is if your dough is fighting you, give it a couple minutes to rest and loosen up a little bit, because that gluten is just binding it up, and then you'll see that it'll start working a little bit better. There's occasions where I would use a roller pin, but I feel like that didn't work too well. Don't want to thin out the center too much, and I feel like I am. Word of advice, make sure that once you're in this process, I wouldn't ball it up once again and do it again, because then you build up that dough strength or those gluten strands, and to get it to come out once again or to roll out once again will be difficult. And that is, as I mentioned, trial and error. I would mess up, and I'd be like, okay, well, I'll start over and roll it up into a dough ball once again, and nope. And then it was even harder to manage the dough once again. And I know there's a method that would help what I'm doing, but as you can see, and as I mentioned, I am not a professional, nor am I great, all the time with this. Sometimes it works better, and sometimes it doesn't. I don't know. feel like the center is too thinned out and the edges are still way too thick. I don't like the center, the way the center looks either. I'm just gonna let it rest for a minute. Don't know exactly what happened. Just bumped the camera. Sorry about that, guys. So I don't know if any of you know, but I started moderating the official lodge cast iron forum, or group on Facebook. And I started, I want to say, about a month or so ago, and they told me, hey, if you join, we'll give you perks. There'll be, I'm not necessarily getting paid for this, but I guess I get paid in cast iron. So they did send me a something. They asked me, well, what do you want? And honestly, at this point, I got so much stuff that I was like, I have no idea. So I just told them, I was like, hey, you know what? I haven't really gotten into the double Dutch ovens. I've seen them, but I haven't really seen any of those like in person per se. And I wanted to use it and see, if it's going to be good for baking. And I actually did, and I gave it a go, and I liked it. And I want to show you guys the double Dutch oven in a minute. We're going to let this dough rest. As I mentioned, I feel like I butchered it right now. It is extremely thin in the middle, almost like it has a hole. I don't know at this point if I should start over. I think I might. That's the thing, is I don't want to. What I should have done was actually rolled it into a ball. And this is exactly what I said not to do, and is what I'm doing. So here we're gonna build gluten strands, or gluten strength, and that's something that I didn't want to do. But like I mentioned, I think I messed up. What I should have done was actually formed it into a ball first, and then tried to roll it out. Somewhat disappointing, guys. Sorry about that. But like I said, you learn from these little mistakes. So we're just going to let it rest here. Now that it's almost in a circular ball shape. All right. Let me show you guys some cast iron. Actually, you know what I did want to do, and I totally forgot to mention, is that for the live on, I think it was Saturday's live? Friday or Saturday? No, it was Friday. I did mention I was going to do a giveaway, so maybe let's just do that, because it was the flag skillet from Lodge that I want to do a giveaway for. Pizza sauce is ready. Turn that off. All right. As I mentioned, I'm just going to let it rest right now because I messed up. So in the meantime, we're going to talk about cast iron. We're also going to showcase some cast iron, so bear with me while I grab those things. Alright guys, let's see if we can move a little bit to this side. Alright. This is the Lodge double Dutch oven. Technically the bottom is a standard Dutch oven, but the top is this shape. So what I think is pretty cool is that you can use this almost like a combo cooker, except it's a Dutch oven. And that's the bottom. It's actually fairly deep for those of you guys that wanted to know. This is actually, the top is very lightweight compared to the bottom, obviously. But I thought this would be a lot heavier, but no, it's actually, the bottom is fairly thin and it's casted almost very lightweight. So I do like this, and for those of you who might be curious, they do have a patent on this, US patent, and as I mentioned, Lodge. And I thought this was pretty cool. So I did tell Lodge to send me this, and they did. So this is the one that they sent me. Pretty cool. And they also sent me actually a lid. Let's see if I can find that. Actually, I think I put the lid away. So I think the associate that I spoke to on Facebook that works for Lodge, she works for the Lodge like marketing team or like social media team. Anyway, her name is Sarah, and she was the one that did an interview, and I talked to her. Very nice, very polite, and that's what I love about Lodge. They're always looking out for the people, looking out for their customers, and I've never had any kind of issue with Lodge. So when they asked me if I wanted to do moderating or be the moderator for their Facebook group, I said, yeah, sure, why not? I mean, I'm always about cast iron. I'm always talking about cast iron, so I figured, why not? And as I mentioned, the perks for working, technically working, but moderating for them, they said, what do you want? And they gave me this along with the lid. So pretty cool item, as I mentioned. So the way that I used it, and I've already used it to, and I'll post a video for you guys. I used it inverted to bake some bread, as I always do. But yeah, this is a standard 5-quart Dutch oven. So for those of you that are interested, it's technically their 5-quart Dutch oven. And what you can do is, and what I ended up doing was set the bottom like that, and then placed my bread in there, and then just put the Dutch oven inverted, and it did it worked great. I loved it. So very, very happy with this. And actually, I want to say that this is one of my favorites at the moment, because I had such a good experience that now I'm like, I want another one. But I also have the combo cooker. So for the best bread baking experience, if you don't have the fancy Le Creuset, because Le Creuset has their own like bread oven, or any of the other ones like the Challenger bread oven, or the what's the other brand? There's another brand out there. Ironclad. I don't know if you guys have heard of Ironclad, but they do produce a lot of cast iron cookware in Australia and New Zealand, and they have one that's oval, a Dutch oven that's oval. Pretty cool. That's actually one that I'm interested in, but I'm thinking that this one will do for a very long time. I think this one will be my main artisan bread loaf baker, along with the combo cooker. So if you guys are interested into that, I do recommend that you guys check this out. So they do sell one with the grill pan, but I didn't know that they had one that was just a flat bottom, which that's exactly what I wanted. And as I mentioned, a pretty cool piece. So very happy with that. The top is, the pot itself is pretty heavy, but this bottom piece very lightweight. So I do like that a lot. Anyway, like I mentioned, pretty cool. And if you guys are interested, make sure you guys check out the Lodge website. With that, I do want to do a giveaway. As I mentioned last Friday, I mentioned about a giveaway. So my giveaway is going to be of this skillet. This is the American flag skillet. Very beautiful piece. Brand new. So I think we're going to do a giveaway right now while we wait for that pizza dough to rest. At least 15 to 20 minutes. And The other thing that I'm going to give away for you guys, technically this was supposed to be Memorial Day giveaway, is we're also going to give away the everyday scrub cloth. These things are amazing. So if I haven't mentioned it, and which I haven't, I bought 3 of these. I gave 2 to my sister and she loves them, and I kept 2 for myself. And these are great. They're very rough, so I wouldn't really necessarily use them like on something shiny, but they are awesome on cast iron. So anything cast iron, they're gonna do great. You know, and even to be honest, like even like potatoes, I used it on potatoes to clean the potatoes. It did a great job. So on some vegetables, it's great. Cast iron cookware, stainless steel, copper, if you guys have any. I wouldn't recommend these for non-stick, but these are great for cleaning up any kind of mess. And I'm talking about a mess that's just, you know, all kinds of just stuck on, burnt on food. This will clean it up. You don't need anything else. This will do a great job. So that's going to be one that's going to be included with this giveaway. So one winner, guys, along with, since we're kicking off summer, also I'm going to give away this Wonderlust reusable utensil kit. So I did showcase it in one of my past videos, and it does come with a fork, a spoon, and also a straw. As you can see, brand new. I haven't opened it. So one lucky winner will get this, the camping gear, along with the everyday scrub cloth and the American flag skillet. So I already see numbers flying away on the chat. I think you guys already know the deal. So let's get started. Jeez, you guys. Yeah, you guys already started with your numbers. All right. You guys know the deal. All right. So for this giveaway, I always have to mention this. This is no way sponsored or endorsed by YouTube, nor is it sponsored or endorsed by Lodge. This is something that I do for the viewers. This is something that I do for my subscribers. This is as a thank you to everybody who comes in and joins the lives, because technically I do these for the lives. So thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for spending time with us here on this Thursday afternoon, or actually, well, afternoon for me, Thursday night possibly for you guys. But as I mentioned, I appreciate everybody's time. So without further ado, you know, choose 1 to 200, guys. You guys already know. I already see numbers flying around. So with that, let's get started. So let me see. Wait, do I even have my random generator? I lost my phone and I'm using my tablet right now. So actually, you know what? Give me a minute, guys, while I try and find a random number generator. Let me go to the App Store, download it really quickly. Search random number generator. Here we go. Which one is the one that I use? Oh my goodness, where are you? Here we go. All right. So as I mentioned, I did see numbers flying away. Let me download this. Give me about 2 seconds, and let's get started. So, alrighty, guys. Well, as I said, 1 to 200. Whoever is spot on or whoever is the closest wins. Oh my goodness, it's asking me to do all these things. No, I don't want any of that. All right, here we go. Minimum 1, maximum 200. Done. All right. Here's my tablet. Here is the numbers that we're going for. 1, let's see, 1 to 200. All right, guys. So good luck to everybody. And here we go. 69. 60, really, this thing is probably... All right, 69. Who's the closest to 69? Let's take a look. I see a 53. 58. Mercy B, 58. Shoot, and I think Mercy B at 58 would be the closest. Yep. All right, congratulations to Mercy B. You are the winner of this whole Memorial Day weekend giveaway, which as I mentioned, I did not do on Monday, which I was supposed to, so forgive me for that, guys. Mercy B, you are the closest. You're only how many numbers away? 58 to 69. You're only 9 numbers away. So congratulations, Mercy B. Mercy B, for those of you that don't know, you guys can find my information, but you have to go on the actual like internet, so or like a web browser. Go to the web browser, go and search up my channel. There you can find the about tab on my channel, and then you can also send me messages. You can see my email there, or you can just send me a message. And if none of that stuff works, guys, then leave a comment, or Mercy B, leave a comment on this video, and then I will send you my email so that way you can get in contact with me and I can ship this out to you. Once again, guys, this is all something that I do for my viewers, and it is no cost to any of you. All you got to do is make sure that you're subscribed, make sure that you live in the US, and that's about it. Once again, congratulations to Mercy B. You are the winner of this pack, the Wanderlust reusable utensil kit, along with the everyday scrub cloth. And believe me, guys, if you guys haven't picked up these scrub cloths, they're fairly inexpensive. Do pick these up. You will love these. These things are awesome, and it comes with 2. So if one wears away or you lose one, you have a spare. But with that said, yes, contact me, leave me a message, or find my information on the About tab in a web browser. So, congratulations, Mercy B. All right. Actually, you know what I want to see? I want to see, does this lid fit? Oh, look at that. It does fit. Somewhat tight, but yeah. This lid fits this. Nice. That's why I love Lodge. They have so much, like cookware that can be so many things. They have so much stuff that you can do with their cookware. So anyway, all right, let's get back to the pizza dough, guys. Sorry about that. Sorry for keeping you guys waiting. Alrighty, back to the pizza dough. Okay, here we go. Yes, a lot better now. Oh yeah, a lot better. So when all fails, don't give up, guys. You can still save it. You can still make it great and make it work for you. And you can see the big old bubbles that are forming. I'll tell you what though, guys, it is a lot more challenging to do this while you're recording, while you're doing it live, versus when you're just cooking on a weeknight. So don't think that the amount of trouble that I'm having is something that would happen to you. I mean, it can, but once again, like I said, this should be fairly easy. And if you don't want to make your own dough, you can go ahead and buy store-bought, but I think it's always better to buy your own dough, or to make your own dough, because it's fairly easy, fairly inexpensive, and you get to add ingredients that you want. So, and not only that, but you know what's in the pizza dough. No preservatives if you don't want any. Nothing weird if you don't want anything weird. And if you want to add some inclusions to this, you can add garlic powder, you can add rosemary, you can add thyme, you can add some kind of like oregano or Italian seasoning, make an herb crust pizza dough, and make it work for you. So, as I mentioned, a little bit more tedious, a little bit more labor intensive, but I think you get a better product at the end of all of it. Now, are my kids gonna know the difference? Of course not, because technically this is for them. But I know what's going in it, and not only that, but it gives me an opportunity to practice. you can see there's still tension forming, and that's okay. We'll let it rest a little bit, and then if I see that it's still kind of shrinking, and then go at it again in a bit. We gotta go check the pizza sauce, which I can hear it. I did turn it off, but technically you don't want your pizza sauce to be warm or hot, but well, given that we're running short on time, we're just gonna have to make it work. It's a little bit difficult, I'll be honest with you guys. It's difficult doing these lives and cooking all at the same time, but I do it because it's fun. I do it because I enjoy it, and I get to showcase the recipes that I've learned, and also I guess the mistakes, because you know, the first thing that I said was make sure that you don't, you know, roll it up into a ball, and well, kind of like I ate my own words, guys. Okay. Alright, we're gonna let this rest. Or I guess we could try and give it a stretch like this. That's the knuckle method that I like using. I don't want to work it too much though. Alrighty. We're getting close. Alright, let's go check on the pizza sauce. So, come with me. There we go. We're already at the 1 hour mark. My goodness. Usually it doesn't take me this long, guys. As I mentioned, it's harder to do this during a live. But let's see. Oh yeah, it's looking good. Yeah, the sauce is ready. Also, I like using freshly grated cheese, but for sake of time and, you know, the fact that there isn't much time left, I think I'm just gonna do already pre-shredded cheese. Oh man, sauce tastes great. At least in my opinion, it tastes good to me. I like it. So yes, looks good. Not very difficult, easy to do, something you can do at home. And for those of you that are interested, pizza sauce is something that you can do within, like, you know, pretty much put it together in 5 minutes, let it simmer for about 10, and you're pretty much done. Let it cool, and you should be ready to have a pizza sauce within 30 to 40 minutes. But anyway, all right. Let's see if we can go back to the pizza, or actually, yeah, let's go back to the pizza dough. So the sauce is looking good. Back to the pizza dough. Alright guys, I'm like concentrating on this. Sorry if I'm not speaking too much. Trying my best to get this ready so that way we can throw the pizza in the oven and we can see how well the Smithey does. And one thing that I will say is that Smithey is very notorious for, you know, the seasoning, and how a lot of people love the copper seasoning color of the pan when they first get it. And I guess their hopes are that it stays that way, but once they cook with it the first time, then they start, you know, having issues. and they say they don't like that the seasoning pretty much strips away after the first use. And I remember there was a review on YouTube of a lady that did a review on the, I think it was a number 10, and she did not like it, especially, you know, because of the price point and the fact that the seasoning was gone, and the pretty much the color of the pan had changed. But I do like that Smithey is, you know, addressing that is normal, that you shouldn't be worried about the seasoning, and it will build up because it does. Alrighty, guys. I think that this is probably the biggest I can get it to. I am not working with too much dough to begin with, so I'm going to try and give it a go now. So we got to bring out the Smithey. It's in the oven, and then we're going to do our very best to get this ready. All right, let me grab the Smithey and let's get going. Large trivet. We're going to preheat the oven to 450. And we're going to get this guy ready. That was a bad idea. One-handed. Yeah, I needed two hands. That guy is heavy. Alright, we're going to add a little bit of olive oil to the cooking surface. Or a fair amount. I like that crunchy, crusty bottom, almost like a focaccia. I think I've done pizza like that one time, and it was great, but I could never replicate it, so I don't know what I did different. But I've had a hard time replicating that crunchy, like focaccia style bread. All right, very, very hot skillet. Let me grab my pepperonis and my cheese. Where are my pepperonis? There we are. And we're just gonna do something simple, just a simple pepperoni pizza, nothing fancy here. Okay. Get everything open. Get another trivet for the pizza sauce. Here we go. Alrighty, guys, let's see. Grab a spoon. Okay, wish me luck, guys. Let's hope this works. I'm hoping that this works. Nope. No, I gotta try it differently. I think I've done it with a roller pin before. There we go. Well, we tried. Hopefully this turns out decent. Always forget that the cooking surface is a bit smaller than obviously the diameter of the pan. So yeah, we had, actually that was a good size. Alright guys, hopefully this turns out decent. Doesn't look like it's, I mean, the best. I could probably do better, but well, it is what it is. Just so you guys know as well, I am not the best at, you know, spreading out the pizza sauce. You see all these guys that are professional, you know, like pizza makers, they can do this in one fell swoop. And me over here, I'm like really bad at this. And you know, the fun thing is that I've actually worked with concrete, so I kind of know how to lay down concrete, how to smooth it out and things of that nature, but it doesn't show here very well. And I used to work with concrete. When I was younger, I would work a lot with like construction style stuff with my brother, and I think that helped me out a lot to understand many things. And like I said, the analogy here is similar to what I'm saying, you know, the construction and what did I say, the concrete or leveling out or smoothing out concrete. But anyway, let's keep going. So that's the sauce. We're going to add the mozzarella cheese. And as I mentioned, guys, we're not going to do anything fancy. I have Parmesan, I have other cheeses, but I'll be honest with you guys, this is just something quick for the kiddos. And honestly, sometimes they don't even see the difference. But if this was a pizza for family and, you know, like a birthday party, obviously we'd be decking this out with everything like ricotta, good salami as well instead of just pepperoni, and many other things. Alright. I don't know about you guys, but I like using the, what is it, Hormel? I'm always butchering the word. This brand. I like this brand. I don't know why, but I've always had a liking to this brand, so that's just me. I'll be honest with you guys, kids are jerks sometimes. They don't care. They don't care whether you made a pizza and you made it fancy. They just want to eat a pizza. And that's, you know, fair enough, because they don't, you know, they're not old enough to understand. Now, one thing though that I have seen people do that I've never done before is drizzle a little bit of olive oil on the crust. See how this works. Alrighty. So there we are, guys. Pizza. In the Smithey number 14. Alrighty, now time to go into the oven. Is it preheated to 425 or 450? I think it is. Okay. Here we go. Where's my gloves? I was about to grab the skillet without gloves. Actually, I'm going to move you guys over here to the oven, so bear with me once again. I feel like I'm just moving you guys left and right. Here we go. There's the oven. Perfect. And a money shot for those of you that are wondering what it looks like. Here we go. Better lighting. It's actually, you can smell the crust cooking, or the dough cooking. So with that, let's go in. Alrighty. And there she be. Alright, guys. Let's see, how long should we actually, what does it say? Where's my recipe? We're going to cook this for... We needed to preheat the oven to, what did I say? 450 for about 12 to 15 minutes. So, let me set a timer. Hey Siri, set a timer for 15 minutes.
15 minutes, starting now.
Alright, guys. Oh, here's another thing that I wanted to show you guys. The Black Lock chicken fryer or deep fryer, I don't even know what to call it, but I got myself the Black Lock. Technically, I have the entire lineup at this point, so I think the only thing I'm missing now is just the grill pan. But I also managed to get myself 3 of the number 14s that are actually now discontinued. And I can't just, have one for myself. I actually gave another one out to family. I gave 2 out to family, and they like them a lot. But anyway, going back to the Lodge Black Lock. This is one that I haven't featured on the channel just because I just received it. This is their deep skillet with the lid. So if you do purchase one of these guys, it does come with the lid. The lids are always very, very heavy. And one thing that I noticed is that this lid does not fit the standard 10-inch skillet or 10 1/4-inch skillet, which is a little bit strange. So some of the Black Lock lids or Black Lock products are not compatible with the standard Lodge stuff. So for those of you that are interested in that, know some of these lids and some other stuff aren't compatible with the Black Lock. But I think it's a 4.5 quart chicken fryer or deep fryer. And the thing that I like about it the most is that it's very reminiscent of vintage, chicken fryers, in the sense that it's very, very lightweight. So for those of you that haven't checked out any of the Black Lock products, they are casted extremely, extremely thin. The underside is actually a thicker bottom, but still very lightweight. I want to say this guy weighs about 5.5 pounds, and being a 4.5 quart fryer, this thing is actually pretty lightweight considering some other ones out there. The standard one I think weighs about 6.5 pounds, so pretty heavy. And with the lid, I mean, that thing weighs like close to 10 pounds. The combo cooker I think weighs about 10 pounds, but this one here fairly lightweight, just by itself. The lids though pretty heavy. So anyway, that's the Lodge Black Lock not combo cooker. I'm sorry, the deep cooker or the chicken fryer. I don't know what they call it. I think they just call it a deep skillet. But they are expensive. I'll say that they are a bit expensive. And if you have the money, you can splurge in something like this. But me, I'm just irresponsible. Let's just put it that way. I have a large collection because I'm very irresponsible. Now I think I'm coming to that point where obviously I'm slowing down on the unboxings and things of that nature. And I think from here on out, we're just most likely going to be doing some cooking and reviews, like a year review or 2-year review of the pans that I already have. So with that, I think, as I mentioned, we're going to slow down on the collecting, at least try. And for those of you that didn't know, the Lodge Black Lock 14.5-inch skillet is no longer being made. Yes, they actually confirmed that this one is now out of production, and this skillet is huge. As you can see here, it's actually fairly bigger than that Smithey number 14. This one is so much bigger. And the thing too is that it weighs, I think, the same amount as the Smithey. So this is a 14.5-inch skillet. It's actually a bit bigger than that, and it's weighs less than the Smithey. The walls on this skillet super thin. I mean, I don't know if I can actually catch it on camera, but super thin walls. And even the cooking, the cooking surface, very thin. But overall, I think it's an awesome pan, and I've used it many times in the sense that I've fried a lot of food with it. I think we did breaded milanesa, and I don't know if you guys know what milanesa is, but it's, well, I don't want to say it's a Mexican dish. I think it might have, if anything, it might be Italian, but it's a very thin sliced red meat, or beef, very thin sliced, and you bread it like breaded chicken, and you shallow fry it, and it tastes it tastes great. It tastes amazing, and people usually eat it with either a pasta dish, or um, or they eat it in a sandwich. So for me, the first time that I used this one here, I actually, because they're actually, those milanesas are like about like this yay big. They're like 10-12 inches big. So I would do three at a time, versus my sister, she would have to cut them in half, find a pan that would be big enough to accommodate like one or two. So, and it took her ages to make any kind of milanesas. And if we're feeding the whole family, that's one of the reasons why we never really made milanesas, is because it would just take us a very long time. So this skillet, I mean, it handles about 3 milanesas at a time. And I think the time that we used it for that, we finished within like 30 minutes. And we did about, I want to say 20 or 30 pieces of milanesa. But as I mentioned, guys, it's a very thin sliced beef. And it's a very long piece. So if you guys haven't tried milanesa, I would go to your butcher and ask them for a milanesa cut. And like I said, there's recipes out there where you bread it just like breaded chicken, and you can put it in a sandwich, as I mentioned, and it tastes phenomenal. It's great. So as I mentioned earlier, if you guys never got the opportunity to buy yourself one, I think Costco still has them out, or has them actually on sale. They're a lot cheaper than they were on the Lodge website. So Costco has these for about $70, I think, $60 or $70. Lodge would sell these for $100 plus, so, and that's not including shipping. But you can get these for about $60, $60 or $70 on the Costco website. So like I said, they are no longer making these, so technically now these can possibly become a collector's item. I like it myself, and I got one for my sister-in-law as well. So she has one, and I actually have a spare. Now I don't know what to do with that spare, whether I should keep it or possibly give it away. I don't know what to do yet. But yes, very awesome skillet. The other piece of cookware that I wanted to show you guys is actually a enamel piece. Over the weekend, I think it was William and Sonoma. William and Sonoma had a sale going on Le Creuset. So for those of you interested on Le Creuset, I think they might still have the sale going on. Usually this pan goes for about $200, which is fairly expensive. But I had some points on my William and Sonoma card, and technically I used all those points because I've been saving those up for years. And I bought this with those points. And this was $100. So I got to use it already, and this little Le Creuset is about 9 inches in diameter, but it's an awesome little pan, and they have many different colors. So I think they still have that sale going on. I just hit my skillet, but anyway, they might still have that sale going on. So if any of you are interested in a Le Creuset, this thing works great. Heats very evenly. Actually heats up pretty quickly too. And I might do a review on this. I don't know if you guys are interested in anything like that. Let me know in the comments if you guys are interested in enamel review or a review on that pan itself. I was looking for the box. I don't have it anymore. But yes, William and Sonoma offering these for $100. Last time I checked. Now, do they still have them for that? I don't know, but they are pretty cool, and I think they're worth the money at that price point. Anything more than that, I wouldn't have considered getting this little pan. So now I have this one, and I also have my other Le Creuset, that's the 10 1/4. I also have a Staub 12-inch pan, and I also have a Le Creuset omelet pan. So a lot of things. So I want to do a review of the omelet pan because I haven't really featured it. I haven't used it very often, but I do like it a lot, especially when I go over to my in-laws. I like using that pan for omelets and eggs. But anyway, guys, like I said, a lot of stuff down the works, and I just need time. That's what I need. I need time to be, pushing all these things through, getting all these videos out, and all this information out to you guys. And another thing that I haven't really done is the seasoned iron videos of where I give you guys news, updates, sales, and I really do miss that. So there's a lot of stuff going on, as I said earlier, and I'm looking for time to somewhat free up some time. Right now I'm very busy with my son's soccer and moving, so I've kind of slowed down a bit with the videos, but I hope you guys don't mind. One thing that I also wanted to touch on was some spatulas. Here we have a fish turner from Smithey. Now, there's a little bit of controversy going around with these little free spatulas because they actually gave these out as a free giveaway, not necessarily giveaway, but free if you guys bought anything during Memorial Day weekend. But for those of you that were looking for spatulas, there's a little bit of controversy going on with the one from Smithey. According to some buyers, some customers, they received theirs that had a made in China sticker and they were upset. And this one, when I purchased this, I want to say about 6 months ago, it didn't have any kind of sticker or anything of that nature. So I'm not sure if this one is considered made in China. Though you can see the angle there, it's not as angular. And the ones that I've seen from other people on their social media posts, the top here is very angular. So I don't know if there's a difference here. There's with the new ones, but they are made in China according to some people, and they're upset. They're saying that Smithey could be outsourcing something here instead of from China. But anyway, you can see this one here now. Another one that I want to showcase is actually the Smithey from 2020. So 2020. This one is the one that I love the most. And if you can tell, these have brass pins. And this one is, you can tell, higher quality. I don't know exactly what company. I mean, the cutouts, they're not rough or sharp. The edges are very smooth. So overall, I can tell that this is a better quality spatula, along with the wood and the pins, the brass pins. It's a very, very nice spatula compared to what they're offering now. So it's a little disappointing, I'll be honest, it is, that they switched over to this. And this is just standard pins. And the walnut here also, not the best quality, but I wanted to touch a little bit on this since it's, I have seen on the Smithey forums on Facebook, and people are just ranting about the free spatulas and the fact that they're made in China. So yeah, you know what? The older stuff is a lot better. As I mentioned, this one here has served me well, and it's worked really well. And I do like that it doesn't have any sharp edges. Now, if you guys don't care about any of those, you guys can also go to William and Sonoma, because I love that store. And William and Sonoma has here a Made in USA. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let's see. So this one here is a high carbon stainless steel Made in USA fish turner, fish spatula. So for any of you that are interested, go to William and Sonoma. I think you can even find them online. And they are fairly expensive though. I think these run for about $50 compared to these, which are $30. but $50 and you get yourself one that's actually made here in the U.S. The ones on the Smithey don't say anything, but this one does. This one does say where it's made. So that's just my quick rant and my quick little spiel on spatulas. And one last thing that I want to showcase that's about spatulas. Sorry about that, guys. Alright guys, sorry about that. My connection, my wife got home and she's hogging up all the Wi-Fi, I think. At least that's what my son says. Mom, stop taking all the Wi-Fi. We're always having fights about Wi-Fi here. But anyway, something's always up with our Wi-Fi. So anyway, hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me know in the comments below. Let me know if you guys can hear before I keep going and talking about the pizza and what I think. Actually, we should see, is it stuck? It is not. I've had times where the pizza is stuck to the pan, but this, as you can tell, is definitely not stuck to the pan. Let's see, did we get a nicely cooked bottom? It could have been better. I think the pan needed to be a lot hotter, but there we go, guys. That is the Smithey number 14, and we got a 12-inch pizza, I want to say. So I think it looks pretty good. I don't know, what do you guys think? Alright guys, and if you guys know me, I will probably end the live here. What I'm going to do is actually cut it here, because I do like to do some social media posting on Instagram, TikTok, and things of that nature. So I'll show it there. I'll remove it, show it, and cut it. That way you guys can see and show you guys what the pan looks like afterwards. But with that being said, I think that was a success. You know, did I doubt myself several times? Of course I did. You know, that's just human nature. We tend to doubt. But I think it turned out great. It looks great and it smells great. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this live. Mercy B, make sure you contact me. If not, just leave a comment on this live video, and I will reach out to you so I can give you out my email. Congratulations to Mercy B for that, for winning the pan. We have more giveaways in the future, guys, especially when I move out. I'm hoping that I'm going to be moving out here pretty soon. And once I do, we'll be doing something big. We'll be doing big giveaways and somewhat of a little party, I want to say, for you guys to see and witness and be part of. So with that, I will catch you guys hopefully next week. I don't know. We're also coming up with birthdays, so maybe not next week, and maybe the next time you guys see me, it might be for the housewarming stream. So we might just do a housewarming stream. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you guys leave a like. And as always, I appreciate everybody's time. Thank you guys for sticking around for 94 minutes. I appreciate you guys. So with that, have a lovely weekend. Have a lovely evening. Be safe, and I will catch you guys next time. Good night, everybody.